winked at me before he jumped out a fourth-floor window like he had wings.
The crow is his link between the land of the living and the realm of the dead.
So you killed the crow.
Caw, bang, I'm dead!
I too was a huge fan of Brandon Lee and his Crow, Crow.
The Crow.
And, you know, the comic book, I mean, James OBarr's writing is so profound and tragic, and yet the story finishes. I find that it's still hopeful.
Yeah.
In spite of, you know, all of the tragedy, it's still hopeful.
Yeah.
And it's about love, right? It's about love.
Yeah.
So because Brandon was so fantastic as the Crow, built a huge audience worldwide, it warranted the series, and I was invited to audition for it.
Okay.
So I auditioned. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 scenes, and then got the call, you know, that I was the part, and I you know, a lot of pressure because
I was gonna say, do you feel pressure with that role since it's so, you know?
Of course, because you know, I myself was a fan of Brandon's Crow.
Right.
So now to try to take that on, and you go, okay, well, I could, you know, I mean, it would be ridiculous for me to try to play the Crow as I think Brandon would have. That would have been a dishonorable thing to do. Disservice and dishonorable to Brandon, and certainly a disservice to myself, you know? So, you know, for me, it's just take the story. It's all written in his beautiful words, James OBarr's beautiful words. It's all there. So what is my interpretation of that? And that's how I best serve the story and the love. You know, Brandon did his, and Mark has to do his, you know, but I'll just have to say that, you know, we wouldn't have done a series if Brandon hadn't been so wonderful.
Right.
You know,
I feel like you made the character your own, to piggyback off what you were saying. So no problem there. Unfortunately, it only lasted a season, but I was a viewer. I enjoyed it. Can I ask you real quick, because it's always one of those things. It's like it can be an iffy thing working with the animals, and I know they're trained, but working with the crows and stuff, how is that? Is that kind of tricky, or?
Yeah, it is kind of tricky because you never know what they're going to do, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but they're amazing, and they're so smart, you know, and they see, you know, of course they see everything. And I felt like, I don't know, I felt like they were kind of reading my mind or sensing I mean, you know, the senses are so heightened.
Right.
So it was a little tricky. So I just had to breathe with them, treat them with respect, you know? Yeah.
But it would make the shot too when like you'd be walking and then a crow would just fly on your shoulder. I think that's the coolest thing.
Aloha, I'm Mark Dacascos, and thank you for watching Kung Fu Chronicles.